And hello fellow Techers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks. And today I bring you a couple of games in IS-7. These are a couple of interesting games, not particularly impressive. They're just your above average games, but I thought both of them are kind of interesting and some things that I want to point out in both of the games. Now these games are on Zippy Mammal's account. Again, this was from, one game was from the run from a couple of weekends ago. This game here is from a little bit earlier, from some time ago actually, and unfortunately this one is in a third-person mode because I wasn't recording at the time. But we are on map Westfield, no artillery in play, which I know when there's no artillery, I know I'm gonna have a good game. For the most part, that's how it goes. No arty, no farty. No arty, you be farting at me. The only arty save that exists is with no arty in the game, honestly guys. Anyway, so we come into this area here where usually brawling happens, and we have a good support of tank destroyers at A6, which is quite good actually in this situation because we weren't able to actually climb up and engage the opposition. Opposition got a better field position at this point in time. So at this time we're just playing really passive and defensively. As you can see, I have IS-7 with me on my left hand side, and we're gonna kind of try to play off of each other here. And the tank destroyer that's in A5 currently is going to be the key in order to help us clean this side of the map. Now here I get penetrated by this T110E5. He was actually playing a decent game, and you don't see it on in the replay mode, but he was wiggling his turret during reloads. It was hard to hit his cupola, so he was definitely a decent player. But yeah, I was trying cupola shot right over there, and that didn't work out. Now here, freaking shit barn yellowing prick, he overexposes himself to get one shot into me. Why not? No regard for his own tank whatsoever. How nice. And my tank destroyer doesn't punish him for that. And now because that happened, I have to pull back even more, because I can't afford to get shot again by this guy. If he hits me again, he'll drain me down to almost no HP. So I gotta be really cautious here. At the same time, I need to be paying attention to my left side. There is a tank destroyer poking the ridge at C3, and he's not getting punished, and I'm assuming because we have only one tank destroyer in the back, so he cannot reload in time to handle all of them at the same time. So my IS-7 friendly decided to go balls deep over there. He decided to engage. I think he was waiting for me to push, but with this FV4005 lurking in the background, there's no way I can make that move. So, you know, even though I do want to help him, I don't want to throw my tank away, because if I move up, it could be problematic. Now I see FV dropping, so that gives me a little bit of leeway here to come up and maybe engage some of these guys. So we're going to try to put a shell into this Emil too. Yes, we do put a hit into him. We saw the side of his turret, so it was an easy shot there. Now we're going to try to help our IS-7 a little bit, but again, I'm paying attention to this tank destroyer here. He's poking over the ridge without getting punished, which is not desirable. So we're going to push forward here. Our IS-7 backs out at this point in time because he sees that he's not getting any support from me. Gonna try to put a hit into this E5. Yes, we can. He stopped wiggling his turret there, which helped us put a hit into him. And again, we're gonna play it really defensively here. I'm not gonna push. I'm gonna take advantage of my tank destroyer that's currently sitting at A5. Remember, this is a team play, and you have to understand the position of your friendlies, where they are, whether they can help you, whether they have line of fire onto the guys that are poking the ridge. So this shot doesn't come off. Again, my IS-7 gets taken out, so we're gonna pull back. We're gonna try to draw this E5 further. Maybe he can overexpose himself trying to hit me, and once he does, our tank destroyer is gonna shut him down, just like that. So that was all intentional, guys. Again, pay attention to where your friendlies are, whether they can help you or not, and you know, use them to your advantage, right? That's what they're there for. Okay, so it looks like Emil 2 is on a reload. We're gonna go a little bit forward, but because my driver is dead at this point in time, I'm gonna have a hard time getting to this fight right there. And our medium tank, I think it's a bat shot if I'm not mistaken, he's gonna run circles around Emil 2, and yeah, he's gonna chew him down in health quite a bit. And then once I saw our E4 go in there, I knew that I'm probably not gonna be able to get to this kill. So we want this side of the map. This is a key area of the map. If you guys are not aware, on Westfield, this side is key to win because it gives you control of the map. But now we're being capped out. So unfortunately, I have no choice but to turn around and head back to base. Now with my driver dead, it's going to be a little bit difficult, and these snowy conditions don't make things any easier. But I have no choice. I have enough health, and we're gonna try to scoot back and see who's in the cap. Maybe we can reset, and we're still gonna try to win this game. Unfortunately, going back into my base, I'm gonna have to go through an open field, and that's a problem because going through an open field with that driver is not optimal. As you can see here, I'm gonna get spotted in a second. Right here I get spotted, and I'm gonna get targeted here. Fortunately, IS-7 is that's targeting me. He doesn't have you know, a very accurate gun, so from that distance, not easy for him to hit me. And for whatever reason, butt shot, opponent's butt shot is shooting HE. So, okay, butt shot gets taken out, and at this point in time, I was just prepared to just push forward. I see this E50M, and this is a key hit. If I don't hit this guy here on the move, this game is probably over. Here I kind of hesitate and make him choose where he wants to shoot me, and fortunately he bounces that shell, and here it's key. I got to take him out of the game, and do take him out of the game. At the same time, I see this waffle on the right hand side. Luckily, I think he was on a reload, so he wasn't really shooting me, and he's the one capping. So we're gonna realign our tank. We're gonna micro position so that we stick our pike nose forward, and we hide it behind the hill so that it's only our gun is sticking out, and that way, even if he tries to hit us, he'll have hell of a time getting us out of the game. And at this point in time, I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have HE loaded. There's no way he has HE loaded. So, and since he has APCRs loaded or his other types of shells, I'm not sure what Waffles actually carries because I don't own one. There's no way he can penetrate my turret. So we're gonna put a couple of freebies into him, and we're gonna try to put one more shell here. He's still at 600 health, so I was worried I was gonna get YOLO'd here, but look at my micro positioning. It's pretty good. He can't hit us. We put one more hit into him, and now our friendly shows up, and he's gonna help us out, and he's gonna take the waffle out of the game. So I didn't want to risk my life at the end there. I took last shadow damage, and then I decided to leave it to my tank destroyer to take him out because it was a safer play. That way I'm still in the game and I'm not throwing my tank away. At the same time, I still have my gun that I can use, even though I'm quite immobilized here and can't really do much more in this game, just to support my friendlies with my gun. That's pretty much it. Now, very close game. We still have a couple of tanks remaining on the opposing team. One is the tank destroyer, German tier 10 Jagdpanzer E100, as well as there's an IS-7 left on the opposition team. Although we still have fairly, actually totally full health E4 on our team, so we should be able to pull this off. So I've decided to switch to my friendly because at this point in time, you know, I'm sitting in the back waiting for anybody to get spotted. Maybe I can put some shells into someone, but my driver is dead, so I can't really do much. So let's see what this tank destroyer can do. He aims the shot at his bottom plate, at Jagdpanzer U100's bottom plate. He hits him. Jagdpanzer U100 obviously is shooting heat because, as you notice there, he hit the fence, and heat shells explode on structures like fences, houses, and other destructible objects. So there's no way you can shoot through him. With APs and APCRs, you can't shoot through stationary objects. And there he gets taken out. Simultaneously, our tank destroyer goes down, so they shut each other down. And at this point in time, we only trying to find the IS-7 and his miserable life. So this is what we're gonna try to do. As you can see, we're struggling to get up the hill over here, but we know he's over here because that's where he was last spotted. At this point in time, I have HE round loaded. I know he's a one-shot only with HE, so that's exactly what I did here. We're gonna put a shell into him, and we're gonna take him out of the game. So this game was quite interesting because, yeah, we were losing the game. We completely lost the other flank. We had heavy losses on our flank. And if I wasn't any other thing than IS-7, I probably wouldn't be able to pull this off. But because I was in IS-7 and with Rush, Ada, and strong side armor and a lot of spaced armor, I was able to come back, get into a good defensive position, take out the E-50M, and then shoot down on the waffle. So we finished the game with 2 kills, over 5,000 damage, class 1 mastery, defender medal. Quite nice game, to be honest. Nothing spectacular, just above average game, but I thought it was quite interesting because we were down in numbers and we were able to pull this off. So we finished with 1418 base XP, 2 kills, 5,095 damage, almost 5,100 damage, 4 medals. We fired 17 shells, we had 15 direct hits and 12 penetrations. Okay, let's skip to the second game I have for you guys, and second game will be in a first-person view, which will be much better so you can see where I'm actually aiming in this game. This time we're on map Sacred Valley, and on Sacred Valley, guys, this is quite important. On Sacred Valley you have to win position C2 or B2. That area there is extremely, massively important, because if you win this area, doesn't matter if you're in F2 or then if you're in B8, for instance, you have shots across the map and you have control of that side of the map. And in many cases, when I see my team not going into here to try to win this position, I know the game is over. The hill at H9, J9 is completely irrelevant in any mode. Doesn't matter if it's assault mode, flag-based mode, it's irrelevant. Anyway, we see this light tank yellowing over here, so we're gonna try to take a quick snapshot at him. We're gonna wait until he turns right there so that our shell will fly straight or fly true. The only problem now is I'm spotted and I'm waiting for artillery hit any time, any moment now, and there it comes. So I get damaged, luckily only over 300 HP, and I get tracked. I was hoping here I don't get hit again. I really don't want to use my repair kit that early in the game. And luckily the second shot didn't come. That means the second arty is not paying attention to this side of the map. So what we're going to do is, with our limited numbers here, we're going to try to push forward and we're going to try to win this side of the map. Luckily we have Wheezy, tier 10 Wheezy with us. We also have the Object 705A, quite heavy armor, which is good. Now I'm trying to get into a good position here. I want to side scrape off of Object 705. He's playing his tank right, so I want to be sure I support him pretty well here. I don't want to overexpose. As you can see, this is probably good position right here. We track this Conqueror. Unfortunately, that shell, I don't know, it went a little bit too late. Here he gets tracked. I was hoping to put a shell into him. You can see his side, but he gets taken out right before I shoot at him. So Conqueror didn't play it right. He was overexposing his tank. Now this E3 is going to be trouble because he's going to be awfully tough to penetrate, especially if he's playing it hold down. But we're going to make a smart move here. We're going to track him on the way out. We want to make sure we draw separation between ourselves and this FV 4005, so that way he cannot shoot us. And at the same time we have sight of the E3, so we should be easily able to take him out of the game, and we do. We're gonna continue pushing forward, and next step is to get rid of this FV 4005. I know I can take a hit from him. Once I take a hit, he's dead pretty much, because his reload won't let him to outgun me at this point in time. So he does put a hit into me. He kills my driver. I heal my driver, but we're gonna approach him here. We're gonna try to ram him a little bit, and we put a shell into him, and he's gonna get taken out by our friendlies, just like that. So now that we won this side is quite critical, as I told you guys. I'm trying to see what to do next. I know there's a couple of reds still in location C3, but I was gonna go there, but I see a lot of our friendlies approaching that location. So I know that this guy is gonna get taken out, so there's no point for me going back there anymore. And I decided to help a different flank. At this point I wasn't sure what I wanted to do here. I know I wanted to get closer to area F6. From there, I could either spot the hill, or I can help these guys that are fighting at location H4. That was the idea. So, since I see those two heavy tanks at H4, or H3, between H3 and H4, I thought to myself, why not come here? I'm perfectly safe here. No one can shoot me from the hill because I'm behind the castle here, and I should be able to shoot at one of those guys at least. Here we're gonna aim a shot at this chieftain, and our gun purposely misses top right, so it hits his turret. Anywhere else that shot pens, but because it goes top right, it doesn't do anything. So we're gonna make sure we align our shot at this E100. We're gonna put a shell into his side right there. He disappears behind the hill, so we can't hit him now, but we see this chieftain, and we should be able to take him out of the game right here, and we do. I see an arrow shot at this E100 over here. I was thinking hopefully I can see a bit of his turret, and I see just a little bit of his turret, but this is asking too much from IS-7's gun accuracy. It was never gonna happen, so that shot kind of dips. Regardless, I pushed forward a little bit. I don't know why, but then I thought again of what I was supposed to do here, and I saw our heavy tank at C8 or C9 right there, and I noticed that he has no shots at anybody. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to provide him with some spots. At the same time, yeah, spotting is the most critical part here. I was thinking if I get under the hill over here, I should be able to spot these guys. So I'm gonna push forward a little bit, see what we can spot. And for these guys to shoot me, they will have to overexpose over the hill to hit me, like this button there. So we have 705 sitting in the back. I was thinking there's no way this button is going to overexpose and try to hit me with the heavy tank in the back. At the same time, I see this Nomad. Very limited shot at him. I'm aiming, trying to see if I can find a shot, but I can't. All of a sudden, I see this IS-7 coming for me. So what we're going to do is we need to engage him 1v1. We switch to our APCR rounds here because it's going to be tough penetrating IS-7. At this point, I had a good separation between me and IS-7. I was hoping that 705 is protecting me, but he's not. So M48 is poking from above the hill. He's taking pot shots at me, shooting me in the back of my turret. I am okay to handle the IS-7, but if this pattern is hitting me in the back without any help, I'm gonna die quite quickly. So because of that, I dipped into the same area that the IS-7, the opposition's IS-7 is, so that M48 doesn't have shots at me. Here we're gonna manually aim at IS-7. That's key, guys. Always manually aim at IS-7s, because if you're going to try to auto-aim at any Russian tanks, you will bounce because of the space armor. Or space armor will absorb that shell and you're not gonna do any damage. So as you can see, I lost quite a bit of health over here, but I'm getting a lot of spotting damage because I'm gonna keep on pushing up that hill over here. And from what seemed to be a close game, all of a sudden we're winning this, and we should be able to take that. Now I'm gonna try to play it cautious here. I'm moving behind the wreck of this Tiger II. I'm a one-shot to M48. I don't want to die in this situation, but I still want to get a little bit more damage. So I'm gonna see him poking out here. We're gonna put a hit into him and back off, and luckily he misses his shot. And we're gonna keep this position still because I already ran off to the top of the hill. There's also Death Star, still almost full health. So we're gonna try to line up a shot at him into his turret, but then I didn't have my APCR rounds loaded, so there's no way I can pen that shot. And I'm being cautious here. I don't know if he's looking at me. I still want to get a shot of damage at him, but he's looking at me, so I don't want to risk it. So we're gonna wait until he backs off. And here in a second, I'm gonna make a mistake, because that shot that just flew from the left, I thought that was actually Death Star firing, but it turns out that it was the artillery. It wasn't a Death Star. So I was pretty sure I can come up here, aim my shot pretty well, and take him out of the game. But he was loaded, and he takes me out of the game. And I don't know why he did that either, because he hits anybody else, he gets more damage out of that. I was on a sliver, so it's his choice. But at the end of the game, we win the game regardless, so it doesn't really matter. So quite interesting game here, just because to show you guys how to play this map, it is important that you win the northeast area of the map first before you proceed any further, like I mentioned to you guys earlier, and then you can progress further. If you win this side of the map, then you can come close to the castle area and you have shots across the field, or you can spot these guys that are on top of the hill. So quite important to win that side of the map. Anyway, as you can see, we finished with nice 5.1k damage with 2k assisted damage, which brings the totals to about 7k combined. We finished second on the team with 1478 base XP, IS-7, 1691 base XP, 4000 damage. Quite a nice game by him. We fired 18 shots, we had 16 direct hits and 12 penetrations. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go check out CloneGuy72 and Got a Dinghy. Links to their channels in the description section below. That's it for today. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit, checking out.